Welcome back to the Blunt Lab. This is Marcus, Gabe, and I'm Al. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, boys?
All right. Just want to apologize to everyone for being absent for a while. We've had some things going on, so hopefully we're back on a regular schedule. I appreciate everybody asking. So, moving forward, let's just jump right into it. Black Mirror. Season 1, Episode 1, The National Anthem. This is where the Prime Minister has to fuck a pig to save a princess.
It's been confirmed that Susanna, Duchess of Beaumont, has been kidnapped.
Prime Minister, my love depends on you. If you do not do precisely as instructed, I will be executed.
This is a joke, right?
The kidnap video has now been watched by over 18 million people.
So how do we even describe it?
Everyone's seen the video.
Steer them away from the grisly details.
This is now a story of global significance.
If he kills her, there's no blood on your hands.
So my question to you guys is, would you fuck a pig to save a princess if you were in the Prime Minister's position?
Honestly, bro, I feel like you have to, but all things considered. Now, I would say I would not have gone about things the way that he did and the way his team did. For one, wifey is involved. She's in the room. We're discussing every possibility. Number two, we're not trying tricks.
As far as hiring porn stars and trying to CGI their heads on the people. And that room would have been a lot smaller, like that group.
Yes.
Oh boy, leaking that picture out.
In the wind.
Some more of a cause more distraction necessary. So absolutely. But all things considered, I feel like you probably have to, because you can't risk this girl's life off of your dignity. I mean, I understand it's tough, but I don't know, man. It's not like you can, I don't know, because this ain't context of what happened. As far as the public's perception and just how everything went down, I feel like you have to. I
have to agree. I mean, they really exhausted for the plans that they were doing. They exhausted every avenue, So I feel that the last resort, I mean, it's the princess. She's very well liked. It's not like it's somebody off the street. It's just a regular person. It's a princess of the country. I feel that you got to do what you got to do. You got to take one for the team.
Yeah. That's the definition of one for the team.
No pun intended.
For me, if the princess's life depended on me fucking a pig, night, motherfucker.
Okay.
That's just basically how that's going to go down. Now, I know the whole world saw the YouTube video. If they were going to choose to hate me for not wanting a fucking animal, a pig, for the princess, hey, look, man. Now, look. If it's my wife, if it's my daughter, if it's my mother, if it's my brother, I mean, if it's somebody that matters to me, then, hey, man, give me the Viagra, give me some condoms, I'm about to fuck me a pig. You know what I'm saying? But the princess, look, the princess, we're talking about the princess here.
I got you.
All right.
What was going on in his mind? I mean, did he care about the princess? I want to say yes. I mean, did he? I mean, that's a symbol for. That's also a symbol of his country.
She may have been beloved. If she was so beloved, all those motherfuckers that loved her could fuck a pig.
Yeah, but they didn't ask. They didn't ask anybody else. They asked him.
He wanted the Prime Minister to do it. That was art. According to it was art. It was the last piece of art
that video would
Essentially,
have
it's
came to
not-
me, and I'd have been like, well, good sir, let's see the video of you killing the princess. And guess what? I'm not fucking a pig. And if people want to, yeah, bring it on. Because if I'm not going to get the fuck out of Dodge and you want to kill me for not wanting to fuck a pig, hey, whatever. It's just going to have to happen. But,
I feel you, man.
Hey, man.
well,
So me, oink oinks.
well, I gave you my, I gave you the situation that it would take for me to have to fuck a pig. For the princess, get the fuck out of here. My family, my loved ones. All right, give me a condom, some Viagra, possibly some ecstasy. That way it feels good for me too. And then I'll fuck me a pig. Other than that, fuck the princess. Move it on.
You're so vulgar.
The entire history of you. Whew. This is the episode where you basically have something implanted in your eye or brain, whatever the fuck, and you can rewind and see everything that's happened.
What's been going on?
Nothing has been going on. You're getting obsessed.
This isn't me!
Hello.
I guess the question is would you have that kind of technology installed?
Hell no. Unless it was mandated. And that I almost feel like in that world that's probably mandatory, but if you have the option, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Because you see, there was, I believe there was one girl on there who had it like taken out. And she said life for her was great.
Yeah.
She didn't need to recall, most of those people, I believe it was voluntary. They wanted that so they could recall those memories that people possibly forget. That one chick was like, hey, life's been great without it. Now, I got to say this. If you were to install something like that and you're out there cheating, why would you keep that in the file? Why?
Exactly.
You've got to be the biggest fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was definitely her bad on that one.
It's brutal too. That child's not his, man. That child is not his.
No.
That's brutal. That is fucking brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got its pluses. I mean, do we want to recall some memories? Of course. Do we want to relive them like that? The good memories, of course we do. But to have something like that in your brain, do I want that? No, probably not.
And you see how, I think when he went through the airport, they had him play back certain memories at certain times.
And they were using it against it.
Mm-hmm. No, thanks. I'm good on that. I'm definitely good on that. And again, if you're going to be a cheater, why would you keep that file? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Why would you keep that file?
It's scary though to think that that's even a possibility in the future. Like that's a scary concept.
I mean that wouldn't be far fetched.
No, it wouldn't be far fetched what they're trying to do. No. So moving on, season 3, episode 1, Nosedive. This is where I guess it's social media based, where they give you 2-3 stars, just for fucking saying hello the right way.
In this world, we're all so caught up in our own heads. It's easy to lose sight of what's real.
If we drill down into the numbers, you have got a solid popularity arc here.
No one is this happy. A 2-year-old with a fucking balloon isn't this happy.
This means fun.
And it just comes to show, and I mean, if you look at it today, how much people care about likes and views. I mean, of course, with what we're doing, we need the likes, we need the views. So please, by all means. But with how this is portrayed in society, you see how much they care, and you see how much, like, just how the episode progressed to the end. How she made her way to that fucking wedding.
Yeah.
Just to get her point across, to be like, please, you have to like me. And then being locked up with the homeboy in there, like them, those two.
Yeah,
that
was fun to watch.
Yeah,
talk about two fucking psychos. So I guess my question here with this one here to you guys is this: do you care that much with your personal social media? If you have, your Facebook, your Instagram, do you give a damn that much?
That's not real life.
No, that's not real life. And two, the only people that matter to me is really my inner circle. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's
pretty
it.
Much.
Uh-huh.
So I don't. What do I care if Joe Blow down the road doesn't give me 4 stars? Fuck you. I don't care.
You know what I'm saying? Joe
right?
eat
Exactly.
A dick, as my man was saying in the Boondocks. You know what I'm saying? Eat a dick, old nigga.
But what's scary about that is like the importance that's put on it. Like where you can live, where you can work, like restaurants you can attend.
Even taking a plane, bro. Even taking a plane.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, even a rental.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You saw she couldn't even get a regular rental.
That is crazy.
But in truth,
the rent had dropped. Yeah.
Who was the happiest in that episode?
The truck driver.
The fucking truck driver. There you go,
she gave it up.
She gave absolutely no fucking fucks.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in Asia, they're like implementing like a watered down version of this.
Oh, dude, I'm not surprised.
Like social media, like popularity is like dictating certain things.
But that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like,
that's exactly what it is.
That's not far-fetched.
It's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
The new age class system, essentially.
Yeah. It's scary. Again, that's what I love about Black Mirror, because it makes you think, but it also has to help you realize that these things aren't far from realities.
It's possible.
You know?
So moving on.
Hopefully they're voluntary. That's all I can say. Hopefully it's voluntary.
Or at least they'll have you believe it's voluntary.
Yeah, thanks.
So we won't be covering all the episodes. We'll just cover, some of the good ones. So moving on, season 3, episode 3, Shut Up and Dance.
That's
Shut
one of my favorites.
Up and Dance.
That's
I had to watch the episode twice to realize that kid was jerking off to, little kids.
Yeah.
And that's why he didn't, because I was kind of, the first time I saw the episode, I was like, well, dude, if you were just jerking off, who gives a fuck who sees you? By the way, it kind of looks like Gabe is getting a blowjob right now, and he's enjoying the fuck out of it.
All right.
But moving on, the kid is sitting there jerking off. Like, I thought the first time, I'm like, well, shit, if people want to watch me jerk off, well, fuck, you're the one who tuned into the show. Watch me stroke. You know what I'm saying? But then I realized he was watching kiddie porn, and I was like, that's why he was so.
Yeah.
I was like, yeesh.
Like what his
mom. I'm kind of wondering, did they go into what the other participants did?
Yeah. Oh boy, that he was working with, like that robbed the bank with him. He was
from Game of
cheating on
Thrones
his wife with prostitutes.
Yes.
The chick that put the thing on the car was like like news reporter, but she had done some racist stuff. So she became canceled. Okay. The black dude that gave him the cake, I think he was cheating and like messing up on his wife and his family. But like when his mother called him at the end of it and was like, they said there were kids, like how old were they? This and that. That's when it hits you like, yo.
What did you do, Kenny? They say it's kids. You've been looking at kids. And Lizzie's on. There's a video of you. You're doing like how all of her friends have got it. Kids, Kenny. Now we have got
this. And then, bro, the fact that they did everything that they told them to do, and they still released everything with that creepy ass smiley face. Like,
they deserved to be outed.
Yeah.
They deserved to be outed.
Because you feel for the kid the whole episode until the end, and you're like, oh, shit.
Exactly.
Whoa. And you know, it's crazy. The girl that worked at the restaurant with him, like, totally had a crush on him. Like, definitely liked him. And you could tell, like, rewatching the episode when that little girl has her coloring, like her color, like her little book and everything, her crayon. He went over and handed them back to her and stuff. The way he was with her, looking at it in context, you're like, damn.
And the second time I watched it, I saw the way he looked at her, and I was like, you nasty, nasty motherfucker, dude. Like, and they all got what they deserved at the end there. Like, there were other episodes in this season, like San Junipero. That was a very good episode, the way it ended. That was a sweet ending.
Like
the happiest of all of them.
Yeah.
We won't go too deep into that. Men Against Fire, I didn't know if you guys wanted to go in. But it's almost like the class system. This episode kind of reminded me of, Gattaca, the movie with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
You know, where they classed, you know, they put people in a certain class because of their blood, or what was in their blood, or what potentially was in their blood. But they were still capable of doing great things, but they still wanted you to look down on those folks. This episode here, like,
just essentially,
you know what I'm saying? They made you think they were monsters.
Yeah, they put that chip in the soldiers to where that little homemade device old boy had that can like get them back to reality and see them as humans that they are. Yeah, that was a good episode too, man. Again,
I hated
the things that are possible, man.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's
exactly. Because war is a big moneymaker.
Yeah.
War is a big moneymaker.
What's scary is that a lot of these episodes are centered around tech. Some type of tech that's implanted. And, you know, there's different variations of it, but it's still some type of implant. And it's definitely something that could happen. It's definitely something, you know, all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, moving on to the next episode in that season, Hated in the Nation. Ooh. Lord have mercy. Can you imagine? Look, you remember when I had my trolling accounts on social media? Can you imagine if somebody put my name in it and it actually led to me dying from a fucking mechanical beat?
Bro. And not just dying in like horrific fashion. Like
horrible pain. Yeah. Like, dude, that episode, I was like, yikes.
Yeah.
That was one of their longer episodes because that episode was about an hour and a half. But worth every minute because that was another episode that had a good ending.
Yes.
Because my man that was doing that shit, I like the text that she sent homegirl. She's like, I got him.
But
boom. Ended.
Yeah.
I was like, good ending there. Now, the next episode, Be Right Back. I believe that was on both our list, little brother.
Yeah. I think it's season 2's first episode. If I'm not mistaken.
Is it season 2?
Yeah.
Now, hold on. I can tell you right now. Oh, it is season 2's first episode. Oh, so I think I was going backwards. Okay, my bad. Okay. But Be Right Back. I won't say what episode it is. I'll just give the titles from here on out just in case I'm going in the wrong direction. Be Right Back.
Captain Carter.
Agent Carter loses her loved one. It starts off with chatting with a particular app where they gather everything that he posted on social media.
I remember.
I don't know, things he might have said or what have you. And basically tries to emulate who he was with all that information.
I know he's dead, but I can sign you up to something that helps. It will let you speak to him. And don't worry, you won't even have to do anything. I'll just assign... Shut up! You click the link and you talk to it. It mimics him and reads through all the things they've ever said online. The more it has, the more it's him.
So, how am I sounding?
You sound just like him.
This might sound a bit creepy. There's another level to this available. It's starting already. Don't put the boundary on.
So it goes from chatting to adding a body to this.
Yeah.
And a body that looks just like him. Because, you know, you and I have been talking about cloning, a.k.a. Damar Hamlin. We'll be discussing that later on. Basically, it's the identical version of him. It's his voice and some of his thoughts.
Yeah.
Now, we go into this because before we even spoke about this, before coming on, Marcus, you and I discussed this a little bit. Men and women probably are going to view this a little bit differently because of how both genders think. As this episode progresses, you actually see the female's perspective.
Yeah.
Somewhat. On how, like, he wouldn't feel this way. He wouldn't say this. You know, they need the emotion.
Yeah.
You know, the physical part is always going to be, you know, what it is. But they need everything else that comes with that. And he was not giving her that.
No.
Well, they're more. It was AI. That's essentially what it was. So, I mean, he's not going to have that. There's no emotional attachment there. He's saying the words, but there's not going to be anything behind it.
Exactly.
And you essentially see that when she tries to walk him off the cliff.
And it's not enough.
Come on. I aim to please.
Aim to jump. Just do it.
Okay. If you're absolutely sure.
Because she was like, he would be fighting. He would, you know, he wouldn't just.
Yeah. He'd be crying.
Right. You know, like
begging.
You know what I'm saying?
Want to die.
And when he tries to appease her, it just seems so fucking phony.
It's artificial.
Yeah, just like when she was arguing with him, and he was like, she was like, "Get out," and he just got up. She was like, "No," he would fight. He would argue. He'd be like, "No, I'm not leaving." Like, just like you said, that the emotional part of that, he would never be able to have it because, again, like Gabe said, that's artificial intelligence essentially. So there's no soul there. There's no human factor.
Right.
Because it's so. But I agree with you that if that was told from a male perspective, I don't think it would have went exactly like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because there's a certain thing a man is willing to just let go.
Yeah.
Just to have a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And like you see, she wasn't able to kill him. She put him up in the attic.
Yeah.
Even let his kid get to see what daddy might have looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it isn't daddy. And she knows it isn't daddy, which is a good thing.
Yes. Yes.
But for a man, I mean, unless you're willing to let, you know, if you didn't love her enough and you're willing to let go, you just don't give a shit, you might just move on. But, you know, I guess the question is here, would you do that in her position? And I'll answer, you know, I'll go first by saying that for me, yes, I would bring my wife back in that fashion.
Oh, well.
Now, there is an emotional part that is, you know, there is an emotional part attached to that. Then there's the part where I feel as if every other chick in the world has AIDS, herpes, chlamydia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And if I can clone my wife and have half my wife, I know I'm safe in that aspect, I guess.
True.
You know? So, you know, for me, yeah, you know, I'll do it, you know, that way. I know I won't die of all those nasty things going on out there. You know, I get a little bit of my wife. You know, I know it's not real. I'll never fully go into it, you know, thinking that it's real the way she was trying to.
Yeah. But
so there, you know, there's a difference there for me.
Grief is a powerful emotion, man.
Oh, it is. It is. And I would want to be able to see my wife, hold my wife.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, for me, yes, I would do it.
I agree. I think I would too. But like you said, I would go into it understanding that there's certain aspects of who she is that I have to just let go because that, like,
it's not going to be there.
You know, like that part was gone. But I'll still have like you said, like part of her there. I think part of her there would be better than an alternative.
Yes.
You know, like as if you love your significant other, and that way, then that's how you view it. But again, it's coming from a dude's perspective. Like, I thought that episode was like beautifully like done.
Yes.
And girl, I know like the acting was like out of this world too, because
yes, it was.
I really feel like that's how that would be from the female perspective. It's like everything that she loves about him is gone, essentially. Like his essence is gone.
And if you're a female listening to the show,
yeah,
please watch that episode. It's season 2, episode 1. It's called Be Right Back. Give us your opinion on what you would do if you would do what she did.
I'm kind of torn because, you know, would it be great to have, you know, your wife there, even if it's not real, but at least part of it is there. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you're gonna, you know, you feel good, you know, you at least see her. But at the same time, that's a little damaging because you would never be able to move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would never be able to go out and, let's say, find somebody else to spend your life with. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm kind of torn between the two. And I don't know that I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I don't think I can move on.
Yeah, who knows? The clone wife might let me put it in the butt.
Probably would.
You're so dirty, bro. You're so dirty.
It's like,
not that I'm editing. I just needed to say that.
You saw like the sexual part of it. Like, he was the clone or the AI was able to do stuff that he wasn't because he's not human.
Well,
so that part of it, I guess, would be gratifying.
Well, the thing is that he was just appeasing her. You know what I'm saying? He just wanted to. Just wanted to make her happy. That's it. It didn't matter if it went against, you know, the other guy, like the real person. Like, if he did argue, that wasn't his job. His job was to make her happy. That was it.
Yeah,
and that wasn't enough for her.
No,
just wasn't enough.
I can understand that though, because again, the huge element of it. So. That's a tough one, man. That's a heartbreaking episode.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. White Bear, I don't want to go into that. That was a pretty decent episode. The Waldo moment, I know that was on your list. What you want to talk about? How'd you feel about that episode?
Oh, the Waldo moment, I just feel like it's not like a direct similarity to the election of 2016, but there was so much of it that was like very similar, like just like the outrageousness of it, and the idea that I could say and do whatever, and the popularity that comes with it. You know what I mean? And that episode came out years before 2016's election. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's political, but just I don't know. Just that idea that like sensationalized things will be not just voted on and like, you know, popular, just like, I don't know. It's just one of those episodes. It's like most of these possibilities are there, and like we're seeing some signs of like where, you know, the world is going, where things are heading, you know?
Oh, so, absolutely. Absolutely.
That one was just,
White Christmas.
Oh, White Christmas is tough.
That's the one with our boy Ham, right?
Yeah. Madman, yeah.
Dude, that kind of technology, again, with what we've been, you know, this is like an ongoing thing with what we're saying with this episode. We're not far, we're either there or not far from. That kind of shit. He got my man to confess.
Oh, that one.
In his own mind.
But what he did though, bro, that baby, come on, man.
That was wrong.
Come on.
That was wrong.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
and you know what sucks? I felt for him the whole episode until that part. Because that not being his child, like that is foul. And old girl, why she's like, I don't want the baby. It's like, because you've been cheating on this dude this whole time. And like,
this whole time.
Well,
and then like, now, like the technology is getting there to where you can block a human to where you can't even see them.
Oh, yes. That's another thing I wanted to point out. You can't hear or see them, make any contact with them.
Or the,
like,
or their offspring.
And it's like, here's the thing. Now, it's fucked up, because it goes back to the cheating. It's fucked up that she cheated. Okay? But she broke up with you. She blocked you. Okay? Yes, your heart is broken. Now, I understand you think that this child is yours. But you're blocked. And I'm unsure if that block ends when the kid turns 18. I forget if that's how that went.
No, the block, it ended when she died.
Right. Yeah, when she died. That's when it ended.
The block goes off. Yeah.
So that's how he found out that the kid wasn't his.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, it sucks that you can't see the kid because of the block.
Yeah.
But you can't let that kind of heartbreak drive you to that kind of obsession to do what you. I mean, like, dude, he killed this kid's granddad.
Yeah. And just left her.
And the kid too. She, I mean, that's what I got out of it. I got that she died
essentially
too.
You killed the kid too.
Yeah.
He left.
You killed her only caretaker.
Yeah, and left her.
And left. Not only, like, dude, wow.
At the very least, like, you can get that baby to safety.
Yeah, the baby the baby was innocent. She didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But at no point in that episode was he thinking logically. You know, we're able to think logically, but at no point in that episode was he thinking logically. And it just, like, really, dude, over a chick? Really? Over a chick? Come on, man.
You know what part hits me the most with that episode? When she was singing in karaoke? But that I'll be there.
And you straight looking at him.
Oh, when he realized that.
I caught that from the first
right, when he realized that when he saw the kid the first time, and he realized that in his mind he was going back. He's like, "Oh shit, she wasn't singing to me. She was singing to somebody else."
Yeah,
that was heartbreaking. That was heartbreaking, bro.
That episode was tough.
Yeah, that was tough. There were a lot of emotions there.
But, hey, even on the side part of that, John Hamm's part and like what he did. With the kids, and they were like talking through like the date, and then old girl was like, "Yeah, this is like," because the whole time he thinking like, "We're gonna go home and smash, bro."
Oh, and they got the perfect woman to play that side.
Yes, she was definitely
because she was great. She was great.
Horrifying.
That was very scary. Yeah, hell yeah, that was scary.
When he was laying. She had the thing in his mouth and like just pouring it down his throat, bro. I was sick. Like, oh my god, like how his boys were watching, and then imagine those guys. You're sitting there watching your boy get murdered.
That's some scary ass shit, bro.
Essentially, and you can't do anything. There's nothing you can do about it.
Scary ass shit.
And then you do nothing afterwards. Literally, you do nothing.
Yeah, what'd he say? They tried to delete everything. Remember? And throw everything away?
Yeah. It's like, bro, but this amount of technology, there's definitely a footprint. Like, you have to.
And you see after my man confessed.
Yeah.
The way he's being punished. Like, what he has to do.
He's blocked from the kind of right? Isn't that what it was? It's blocking from that.
Now, I will say this. Is being locked up and sentenced that kind of way better than the prison system today, where you're essentially going to get butt fucked if you get locked up?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Because, the real person was, he was behind bars. I think he was maybe in a mental institution or something, right? But
he was
a part of his consciousness was in a machine. Now, is that the same thing as getting punished, though? Because I mean,
he's reliving that.
You're essentially closed off.
Right, I got what you're saying, but that's not really him. That's only a part of his consciousness.
But in his mind, it's him.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's like his
Right,
brain.
but does the other one that's locked up, does he relive that? The real person.
Mentally,
the real
yes.
person.
Yeah.
The real person is locked up in a padded room with that shit attached to his temple.
Do they put that back in there?
And he's reliving that.
Yeah, he's reliving
that.
He's in that cabin.
Okay.
The whole time he's locked up.
He's in that. They had him in there for, like, he's in there for life. But you remember they had him, like, redoing it for, like, 8 months or something, where he's just reliving that same. I would think that's worse.
Yeah, that would definitely be worse, man. Because you could go insane.
But see, So you think that's worse than the prison system today, where potentially you can be murdered, raped?
Yeah, I would say yeah.
I think so, because, bro, if you're like in your mind, like in a loop of just the crime that you committed to be in here, and you're just in that loop, at least in a regular like prison system, like, yeah, there's a possibility that you could get raped or murdered or shanked, but you're also interacting with people,
right? And you could possibly get out too, and you could live the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, this nigga know he's in for life.
Oh, yeah,
so this is how you're gonna punish me. Let me be in my mind so that no nigga can be up in me.
Nah, I think I'd rather die, bro. I don't want to.
Yeah, I would just.
I don't think I want to do that. I'd rather die.
It's like, bro, with the way that went down, man, like, after he left the baby there, he should have just killed himself.
Yeah, he should have killed himself.
Your whole reason to live, for one, is dead, and then you realize that this baby's not yours. Bro, the fact that he has to live with that, knowing what he did, not just killing her dad, but leaving that baby to die.
And you make sure he gets to see that body laying there every time.
Yeah, it's a time loop.
To me, that's torture.
That's
torture to me.
And I believe certain people deserve that.
No, for sure.
Type of torture.
Yeah.
And we're not far from there. But moving on, season 4, episode 1, my favorite episode. USS Callister.
Love that episode. Love that.
So, this is one of those ones where it's not a weird episode, because, all these Black Mirror episodes, they have a level of weirdness to it. This one is a video game. Much like, where they attach something on the side of your head, you get to interact inside this video game and be what you want to be in this video game. So, my man is essentially, I don't want to say he's being bullied at work. His partner, who he went into business with, essentially took the shine. That pretty much should have been his.
Yes.
And his co-workers, not that they bullied him, they just didn't respect him.
Yeah.
For this, for what he was to the company, they didn't respect him. So in this video game that he has, he essentially takes their DNA and clones them in a video game. And he's able to, it's like Star Trek-y.
Yeah.
Meets, what's that corny ass space show? Is it Babylon 5? Yeah, it's like Star Trek meets Babylon 5.
Welcome aboard. Crew, we have a new member of the team.
We meet again, Captain Daly! We're trapped.
Jesus,
Space Fleet never turns its back on those who need our help.
3 cheers for Captain Daly. Hip, hip, hooray! Hooray!
So in that episode, he gets their DNA, he clones them, and he's like the boss in Star Trek. So you guys can watch the episode deeply for those who haven't seen it if you want to. So my question is this. Do you agree with what he did to his coworkers? And are you satisfied with how it ended?
I don't agree with how he was doing his coworkers. I am satisfied with the ending because I feel like he got what he deserved. But with that said, like you said, his coworkers weren't bullying him. They didn't respect him. His partner was kind of bullying him or he's definitely mistreating him at the very least. So him exacting that kind of vengeance via that game on his partner, I was actually all right with that, because I feel
now I'm glad you mentioned that when you say that, because when he went as far as to get his partner's son's DNA and how he does them, I'm gonna say this: fucked up. But I have nothing but respect for what he did there. I know it's terrible to say. I know it's terrible to say, but to make him watch his son die like that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
But like, in the context of it, like, it's in that game. Like, nobody, like, the real people.
Nobody's really getting hurt.
Except him at the end. But the way that he was going about it, I'm like, I don't like how he was treating the rest of them, because I don't feel like any of them were like, again, I don't think any of them were like bullying him. They didn't respect him for what he supposedly to that company, but I don't think they were mistreating him per se, you know? But
I mean, like, you know, they basically avoided him, didn't speak to him, I mean, didn't get him his coffee, you know. Like, again, the only person that really fucked him over was his partner.
Yeah. And that one, was it the girl that he turned into that monster? Or was it because she didn't speak to him or something like that? Like, I feel like he had trauma that he was exacting out on them during, you know, via that game. But yeah.
Now, even though physically nothing is happening to some of these folks, in the game, to them, it's really happening to them.
Oh, yeah.
Even though they, you know,
it's a mind fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, to see it end for that girl that he brought in, the last girl that he brought in, and what I like is that both those actors were in Fargo. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that show. If you haven't, treat yourself. It's fucking phenomenal. But both those actors were in Fargo.
Yeah.
When he brought her in last, thank God for the rest of them that she was that smart.
Yeah.
Because they would have just been sucking this nigga's dick for the rest of their days. And the way it ends with him stuck and being unable to come out of that video game. So even though in the real world he's not physically being hurt, he's still going to die, because the longer he just sits there, he's just going to die of starvation.
Yeah.
But mentally, he's suffering that. Until he dies, I don't know how it works if he dies, but mentally, he's stuck there alone in the dark, not being able to get out.
I thought that the way it ended was him, like, dying in real life. Or is he just stuck?
No, he's just stuck. You see him in his chair, laid up, and he's just drooling.
Yeah, okay, you're right. So, I mean, he'll eventually die.
He'll eventually die, because he's not going to get out of the game to eat. So, you know, again, one of my favorite episodes, if you haven't seen it.
Ain't nobody checking on him either. So, like,
oh, hell no.
Right.
Because nobody cares.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that kind of reminds me of the movie Jumanji, where you can get inside the game and you actually become an avatar in the game. You know, you know, essentially.
And if you don't win,
right?
You can't
and
get out.
essentially,
Jumanji. Pick a character and you're that person in the game.
Bethany, you in?
I don't spend my life staring at a TV screen. Fine.
Oh my god!
Where's my hair?
Where's the rest of me?
Oh my god, we're in different people's bodies!
Bethany, don't look at it!
No! I'm an overweight middle-aged man. Wait a second, where's my phone?
Not that you die in real life, but they thought they did, because they thought once all their lives were done, they were dead, as far as they knew.
And you hear him at the end of the episode, he's like, exit game. Exit fucking game. Exit game.
Yeah.
Exit game! Exit game! Exit fucking 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 game!
dude, you have to be stuck
Yep.
there.
Yeah. So he kind of got what he deserved in that
He
sense.
got what he deserved.
He like,
got what he deserved.
It's kind of like dirty because he like taking people's DNA and like, you know what I mean? Like that's
just fucked up, man.
Yeah.
That's just
Again,
fucked up.
And the little
not far
kid,
fetched.
like the son, it took that lollipop or something, right? That he has.
Yeah, that's how he got the son's DNA. The son, the guy brought the son in to visit, and was eating a lollipop. He left the lollipop on the desk, and my man immediately snatched that up.
Yeah,
immediately.
Yeah, that's definitely not far fetched. We have VR right now.
Yeah, and you won't see me fucking with that shit.
That's so
And
boy.
I'm waiting for them to put like an implant where you could attach the VR and then be in that world completely. You know what I'm saying?
The metaverse. It's real, bro.
Close, yeah, it's close.
That's old boy from Love and Death too. The captains.
Now moving on, Arkangel. The question here is, would you put something like that in your child?
Oh, God, I'm so sorry.
Sarah will be part of our trial period.
Response so far, it was just incredible. A sense of security, peace of mind. The stories we've been hearing, they are truly inspirational.
It's completely safe.
Sure it is, huh?
No. I understand why she did it because of what happened when she was a baby, but I still wouldn't because that's a slippery slope. And we've seen how that played out. Or if you're going to do it, you have to have restraint and within yourself and restrictions within yourself to like limit your.
Well, that's not realistic in humans. We don't have any restraint, really.
No, that's true. So that's
None
why.
whatsoever. Now, I understand why she did it because when you think of what child trafficking is today, you would want to be able to know where your kid is, and this isn't something that they can hack into or break into or remove. Now, as the child gets older, this is where the restraint should be coming into where you shouldn't be tapping into her. Know where she's at, but give her the privacy a human deserves. If you're going to do something like that. I'm just saying if you're going to do something like that. Now, I guess the question is like, would you do it? You say no. What about you?
I don't think I would do that either. I feel like I would get too involved in her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about when she's a kid. I'm talking about after she's grown. It's just, it would compel me to look and be like, oh, where's she at? What's she doing? You know what I'm saying?
And that, for me, if I did do it, number one, I wouldn't want to see my kid fucking. So
no, I definitely don't want to see that.
The only time I would tap into it is if I feel like something's wrong. And if you tap into it and you bump into something like she bumped into, where, she's in the middle of getting plowed, you get the fuck off.
Yeah.
Again, unless you feel like your child is in danger, again, this is if you're going to do it. Me, I kind of feel like I might do it because I'm paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my kid to get snatched up. Granted, I wouldn't put my kid in a position to get snatched up, but, I guess you can say shit happens.
But,
so you would kind of want to know.
That
but again,
paranoia could fuck with you, though.
As they get older, I don't want to know, again, unless I feel like something's wrong, I don't know what's going on. You do you, because again, I wouldn't want that to be done to me if there was that kind of technology in me.
And like you said, I understand why she did it because how the episode started with her losing her for like however long it was.
And where she fucked up is doing that blocking thing that we mentioned in that other episode.
Exactly.
You can't block, you can't deny any child that you can't do that to any child. They need to learn, see, be taught and understand. You can't just block shit. Because look what happened.
Bro, her grandfather, or the little girl's grandfather, her dad almost died because she don't know what the hell's happening. Like she's seeing like black, like a shadowy image. Just this dude's having a heart attack
and dying.
Yeah.
So not to harp into it. So do you guys agree with the ass whooping she gave her mom?
I wouldn't say I agree, but I definitely understand it.
Yeah,
I mean, seeing how to do
I would have to agree with him. Yeah, I agree with that.
She beat that ass.
She gave her work. She gave her crazy work.
And dude, the fact that she was able to get up and still go outside and still call for her, hey man, I thought so too.
I was like,
I thought so too.
I was like, she just might as well die. It's like she beat the brakes off her.
Next episode, Hang the DJ. We won't harp too much on this. But I'm unsure if that dating app was voluntary.
I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess the question would be, would you guys volunteer for a dating app like that? For those that haven't seen the episode, for the most part, you sign up for a dating app. The dating app pairs you up with somebody, and it actually tells you how long you have to stay with this person. So the time could be 2 hours, to a day, to a week, to a year, to 5 years, to 20 years. So it's up to this app to tell you how long you have to stay with this person. So knowing that, would you sign up for an app like that?
We check our expiry date on 3, 2, 1, go. 12 hours.
Yeah, 12 hours.
Okay.
Bit
Yeah.
bit short.
It is a bit short, isn't it?
I used to think that love could
Must have been mental before the system.
I mean, are we just meant to go at it?
Define go at it.
Oh, fucking hell.
But then you
Always find your perfect match.
It really does work.
Another relationship.
Coach, is this a mistake?
Everything happens for a reason.
If single me, maybe. Because that is like, it's an interesting idea. It's like the way the algorithm was working. It can like tell you how long. But
here's the thing, with that episode, the one thing was that particular couple kept finding their way to one another.
Exactly.
And wanting to find their way to one another.
You see,
so
I guess it was like a 98% match. Like when they were in real life, like that's why like that worked out for them, because they find their way to each other. And remember, like she was paired off to get married, and so was he. But they were like, "Screw that, let's just run." So, because like you think, like I understand what you mean though, because like if you get paired up with somebody for like 6 months, and like this is the person you're supposed to be with, but you only have 6 months, like you have an expiration date, that's tough. But if you get matched up with somebody for 5 years and y'all fucking hate each other,
just like
like I had that ended up happening to him for what, a year. He had a girl, and they like hated each other.
And would you have
that
peaked?
part of stuff?
Would you have peaked the way he did?
No,
when they made that deal not to peak.
That's what messed them up though, because that's what shortened their time like rapidly. And I don't think I would have. I think I would try to just live in the moment.
Yeah, not most people would peak. It's just the curiosity, bro.
Curiosity. Yeah.
It's definitely the curiosity. I personally couldn't do it.
If I'm going to be honest, I one, I wouldn't sign up for the app. 2, I probably would have peaked too.
Yeah.
Because I want to know how long I have. I don't know why, but I just want to know.
Yeah, I mean.
So I probably would have peaked too.
I don't think I would have. I think I would have just like and just lived in that moment, And unless like y'all agree that like we're gonna look at it, Yeah. You remember they had that date before.
Yeah.
And then once they got back together, they were like, we're not gonna. And it could be limitless at that point, because once you look at it, that's when the time starts. Or like that's when the clock starts. So if you just enjoying each other and to say, screw that, we don't have to look, then y'all just can just be together. The way I understood, So
now moving on, I will say
that had a good ending.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
That had a very good ending.
Happy ending. No.
Metalhead, probably one of their weakest episodes. We won't even go into that.
Yeah.
The final episode of this season, Black Museum. That episode there, boy.
Mm-hmm.
Our girl Black Panther. Let me tell you. She that was a good ending.
Yes.
That was a very good ending.
Very satisfying.
So I guess basically that episode, the Black Museum, with all the previous episodes that we've just discussed, they've had all the tech involved in all the bad things that happened. And in that episode, they even, what was it, the teddy bear, where they put that one broad?
Sure you want to do this? This place ain't for the faint-hearted.
Sure I can handle it.
Not everyone can.
What is all this stuff?
Authentic criminological artifacts. If it did something bad, chances are it's in here. There's a sad, sick story behind most everything here. Just like our main attraction. So what do you say?
With the oh boy Hawkman.
Yeah.
Like him and his girl, and like them planting her consciousness into his brain.
Would you guys do that?
No. Hell no.
There's no way.
No
No way. Like, it's sad that she got hit by the truck like that, Final Destination style. But again, it goes back to the episode where she called her boyfriend or whatever. Let it go.
Yeah.
Where homegirl was cheating on him and broke up with him. Let it go.
That's not some get out shit,
it's easy,
bro.
You know, it sounds easy saying it, but it's gonna hurt. Yeah, I know it's gonna hurt. But let it go,
bro.
Because I mean, is it worth?
That's not some get out shit, bro. Like share consciousness? No, sir. No thanks. No.
And then to be stuck in a fucking teddy bear, only being able to say two things. No thanks.
What about the other side story with the doctor, where you have that thing you can put on and you can feel what people are going. I honestly feel like part of that is revolutionary, because think about it, if you're a doctor and you can put a cap on
and you can feel what they're feeling.
Right,
that way
you can diagnose. You can see where the pain is coming from.
Yeah.
Now I will say this:
the extreme though. Like,
you took it to the extreme, but here's where I would say I would probably now. I don't think I could use that kind of tech, because you see when he was using it, having sex. He could feel the pleasure of his orgasm and the pleasure of her orgasm. And I don't, I like the way he feels busting a nut. I don't care to feel what a female feels when she's busting a nut. I'm sure, when she's busting the nut, it feels good.
That's another thing.
What if that is? What if that?
Another thing we'll have to revisit.
What if that intensifies what you're feeling, though?
Nah, man, because word on the street is if you let a chick put something in your butt and besides your G-spot, that's supposed to feel phenomenal. Well, guess what? You're not touching my butt,
bro.
Busting a nut feels good enough.
That's what
I don't need to feel anything else than what I feel when I bust a nut.
No, real shit, fellas. Coming feels fantastic. Like, if it felt any better, I might die. Like, my heart,
you feel me?
Like, I don't know if I can take more. I don't know if I can take another level. Bro, it's already.
You're not sticking.
Yeah, it's already at the
You're not sticking anything in my butt.
Why? That's gonna make me
maybe that's God. Maybe that's God's joke, putting the G-spot, the male G-spot in the butt.
It's definitely a joke.
Guess what? It ain't funny to me.
I'm never gonna know.
It ain't funny to me.
I'm never gonna know.
I ain't never know nothing.
I'm never gonna know what that feels like. I'm cool. I'm very much cool with not knowing.
Yes, sir.
You guys are so funny.
Moving on.
But getting back to the episode, though, the way it ended was beautiful, because she set his ass up beautifully. She turned down, she messed with the heat and like that tainted water. Yeah. And then being her dad and everything, like,
oh, dude, just to see something. Can you imagine? And look, mentally, he's living.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like the way she got him, Dude, she played the British accent perfect. Switched it up on him, telling him, I'll never take anything from strangers, buddy.
Facts.
You know, that's I mean, come on, man.
That was beautiful.
She got him good. She got him good because you know he was a filthy cousin fucking racist. Who took pleasure in watching that brother get tortured by other filthy. You saw that one motherfucker that rolled up wanting to jerk off to watching this nigga get electrocuted. You know what I'm saying? And there are filthy racist motherfuckers like that wanting to do shit just like that.
But everything that old boy did in that whole museum, everything that he did career-wise was only motivated by money and, you know, fame or whatever. Like, bro, every story that was a part of that was tragic. And he was pushing all that on them. Like, old boy Hawkman, he was the one that came to them and said, oh, we could implant her in your brain. Like, you know that's going to be a problem. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, this sounds crazy.
I don't care how much you love
and
somebody.
You're talking about, oh, she's made her decision like both times.
Yeah,
when he saw my man really trying to think about whether or not I should do this. He pushed the fact that, oh, well, she made the decision. And boom. She ends up in your head. You see how that works. And then the second woman in your life, you saw how that works. Like there's just like that episode right there, you know, definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Definitely one of my favorites. Now, I skipped an episode. I want to go back to it briefly, Crocodile. That is where in the beginning you got a couple driving. They run somebody over. They keep it a secret. Boom, boom. You fast forward. In the future, there's apparently technology where they stick something on the side of your temple and it plays back your memory on some old school looking TV. We won't delve too deep into it, but I definitely recommend seeing that. Would you? In this episode, this chick, man, she kills a fucking baby. You know, spoiler alert. She kills a baby so that they can't look into the baby's memory to see the fact that she just murdered the baby's father. To keep the fact that she just murdered the insurance agent whose job was to go to her and get information about a previous accident. But her memories that were haunting her gave her away.
You know what the worst part was? She went to her kid's school recital, like everything was 100.
After killing a baby, not thinking that gerbil could give her away.
That was awesome. That was satisfying.
That was a fucking awesome. Because, you know, just to hear that, you know, one of the cops go, who fucking kills a kid? While she's watching her kid at a fucking recital.
A baby, bro. Like, there's just certain things that just, come on, bro. That's kind of like Old Boy and White Christmas. Like, he didn't directly kill that baby, but he killed that baby by leaving her. She killed that baby.
She killed that baby. Straight, like she...
Bro,
check that episode on.
I can't even imagine harming a baby in any kind of way. Like,
no.
How could you? Like a baby? Like, how could you do anything to a baby but like love on it and like kiss them and hug them and you know what I mean? Like, how could you exact any
and then literally go to your kid's recital and sit like
everything's a buck. Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Now,
I love when they walked in there though. When the police walked in there, I was like,
got that bitch. Now, moving on, season 5, episode 1. This episode right here is one of the episodes that really, really, really fucked me up. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. I've had a conversation with folks about this episode. Dude, at my nephew's birthday party, we're sitting at a barbecue at a table, and I had to bring this episode up. I think there was only 1 or 2 other people that have seen this episode. Now, out of all the episodes of Black Mirror for my wife to watch with me, this was the one and only one that she's watched with me. So the title of this episode is Striking Vipers.
Uh-huh.
The two main characters, you will know one of them as the most recent reboot of Candyman.
Yes.
You will know the other gentleman as our new Captain America.
Mr. Sam Wilson.
In this episode, this is one, again, where it's a video game. You put some shit on the side of your temple. You're in the video game. Now, but in this particular video game, you're not yourself. You can pick avatars from the actual game, and you can fight.
You want to know where I'm going after I leave here? Mariella.
You know the thing about you? Sometimes you just sort of go away. There's something going on.
Something going on.
That's what I said.
Not 1 minute more.
Nothing is going on. I promise.
Candyman picks a female avatar. Captain America picks a male avatar.
You want a game? So grab the experience with this. I got you. Insane. You're gonna freak. You're gonna shit your pelvis through your asshole in the store. You put the game chip in. Done. Now grab the disc doohickey and stick it upside the head. I haven't chosen our fighters yet. Rock set.
Okay.
Lance.
Damn. All right, Lance. Let's go.
Okay.
They get into this video game. It says fight. I think they might have thrown 1 or 2 punches.
They fought for like 10, 15 seconds. If that.
And after that 10 or 15 seconds, they start
Make it out.
What?
Yeah. That happens.
So, again, in the game, Candyman is a female avatar. Captain America is a male avatar. In the game, you're supposed to be fighting. All right? But they choose to make out. And you know what kissing leads to.
Slushing booties.
Fight.
That's us gay now.
And they fucking smash in the video game.
Why?
But Al, you gotta remember too, everything that is in the game, you feel it.
Yes.
You get
in real life.
Like your leg. Remember his knee was messed up and his knee was good. And they showed them when they were in like college or whatever. And remember they were playing the older version of it. And those are the characters they always pick. Like he always picked the girl and he always picked the dude. But continue. Go ahead.
That's scary.
Yeah.
So in the game, they have sex. And again, as Marcus just explained to you, you can feel it in real life. So this happens. They get off the video game. Blah, 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 blah. Every time they get on the video game, they smash. To the point where in their personal relationships, in their real life, they're both having problems having sex with their prospective female partners. In particular, Candyman.
Yes.
Like he is having a real hard time having sex with his partner. A real hard time. To the point where he's dying to get back to the game.
Like a thingy.
So my thing is, this man was fiending to have a pussy so bad.
It's also junkie shit, bro.
To have him, you know what I'm saying? To have his boy fuck him in it. And then
I don't even want to think about that shit, bro.
In real life, they were like, maybe we should just meet up to see if it's us or if it's the game. So they meet up in real life and he's like, let's just kiss. They kiss. For some reason, they find it disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But they want to get back to the game.
No, Candyman want to get back to the game.
Candyman want to get back to the game.
Remember what it was saying? How about every other Sunday? What about once a month?
Captain America was trying to break it off, and Candyman was like, "Yo, dude, let's not just, don't break it completely off. How about every other this, every other that?" Then he was like, "Oh no, well, how about on, first he was like, how about every Sunday? Go figure." And then he goes, how about once a month?
On the Lord's sake,
you know what I'm saying? He want to get his. I can't even call it a fake pussy because I don't even.
I call it a boy pussy.
I don't even know what to call it, but he was fiending to get fucked by his best friend. Now, my thing is this: if you're capable to do that in real life, like if we're able to get into a video game, either me and you, Marcus, or me and you, Gabe, I'm getting in and fuck you up. If we're able to, not be physically hurt by this, I'm going to take advantage of what the game is going to allow that avatar to do. I'm not going to try to fuck you.
No.
I don't give a fuck what you... So my question is this about this episode. Because, later on in the episode, because my man literally, I guess, breaks up with him, if you want to call it that. And then the wife brings them back together in a little fucking function. And then she sees the awkwardness. And then he eventually tells her.
Remember, he told her because after him and Candyman kissed, remember they started fighting.
They started fighting. They got locked up.
Yeah, she had to go bail him out. She had to go bail him. Tell me what the hell's going on.
So he tells her and admits it. So my question is this: now that she knows, their future consists of, I don't know if it's every birthday of his or if they just picked a particular time. So on his birthday, he gets to go onto the game so he can bang Candyman. And she gets to go out into the real world to get some real dick.
Wow.
Happy birthday.
Love you.
You want that back in the morning?
And the sun on my heart can repeat. I'll love you.
You ready?
Till then.
Ready.
Not 1 minute more. I'll love you till then.
Essentially, they're not physically fucking, but they can feel it in real life. So is that gay?
Okay.
And what's worse? Is what his wife doing worse, knowing what her husband is doing? Or is it just like how these swingers like to do in real life?
That's a catch-22.
They're equally bad.
Yeah, that's a catch-22.
They're equally bad. I'll say this. I wouldn't say that it's gay in the sense that there's no actual gayness happening. With that being said, it is definitely in the neighborhood of homosexuality. Like, it's literally a neighbor. Like, it's...
Because that's your boy, dog.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it was like a chick in... Like, I get it because it's a woman avatar, but it's still a dude controlling that.
Yeah.
And you know that. You remember...
And you know this.
You remember Candyman saying that he's tried it with other people? You remember he was like breaking it down, like, I've tried this with other people, I've done this and that. I'm like, yo,
and it doesn't work.
He was the one fiending. Like, he was a fiend, like a junkie.
But see, Candyman wasn't showing that he was fiending, but you know he was because you're still willing to go back and play the game, bro. You're still willing to go back to bang your homeboy's fake pussy.
And Captain was too, because he wasn't even trying to sleep with his wife at that point. Remember?
No, man.
I'm tired. I'm too tired. Like, tired for what? Dropping loads from the game?
And crazy man pussy?
Dropping crazy loads in that pussy. Get out of here, bro.
Yeah, that's
like that episode really, that episode was just...
I'll say this, though. The acting was
I wouldn't
the acting was phenomenal. The acting was
I
want
to say that would definitely be in the vicinity of being gay, bro, because
it's definitely I don't think you made it that far, Gabe, but wait till you watch it.
It's in the ballpark. It's in the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
it's definitely in the neighborhood.
It's gotta be.
Yeah,
It's
I
gotta
mean,
be.
you're not physically there, but mentally, nigga, you're there, knowing that that's a dude, and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah.
You're there.
Yeah,
You're there.
you're definitely there. That's not too far away from going out there in the real world and doing it. You know?
The next step. Yeah. You're a step away from just being all out.
Just telling your homeboy, be like, hey, dog, I just want to really feel what that man pussy feels like.
But what kills
and
me
just get up in his butt.
It's like, because she was explaining and, like, she gets that marriage is boring and she wants to be out or she wants to be wanted and all that.
Yeah, she mental too.
You are willing.
She mental too, because that's wrong.
But no, so that's where I was like,
that's the thing. She was being neglected by him because
he was banging his homeboy.
Yeah, he's in that damn game wanting to be a part of
and
that.
they should just break up.
So, like, is it that good, that video game Busty? Is that good that you willing to let your wife, the mother of your children, go out, have sex with dudes? What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking
about? And then you gonna get up in it after she's done too?
What are we talking about? That's crazy.
Fuck out of you.
Like,
and that's where I was like, you know what?
Nah, they both wrong.
Is that the swingers mentality? Because, I've been around swingers, you know what I'm saying? Most of them don't mind watching their wife or husband have sexual relations with it. So, is that the swingers mentality or is it right?
Like, Gabe said it right. Gabe said it right. They might as well break up.
Nah, they might as well break up because bro.
And you see, she hands him the fucking piece for the video game.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess she puts her wedding ring in the box.
Yeah.
That way, it's time to party. Like,
yeah,
you know what?
Said, I want this back tomorrow. And he's like, me too.
So that's where I get, it must be every time it's his birthday.
While she goes out and does her dirt.
Gets real dirt.
Nah,
nah. Does you remember when she was waiting on him for the anniversary dinner and the light skin fella hit on her?
Nah.
But you remember that I'm not even mad at her because she just wants to feel wanted by her man, which she has every right to want that. And he's too busy trying to get her best.
It should be her man, not some other dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But when you flip the script, it should be her and not some dude.
Right.
Like if you want to be a homo, go be a homo.
But what I'm saying is they should break up.
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. Smithereens wasn't that it was a good episode, but
that was like
you're gonna give me nightmares now, bro.
Now Rachel, Jack, and Ashley too. This is Miley Cyrus's episode.
Yeah.
Now, what I also like about Black Mirror is that each episode has an A-list superstar in it. Sometimes, 2 or 3. This is Miley Cyrus's episode. And let me tell you, man, this is where they take her consciousness and put it into a robot. Where this is literally her in a robot. Every memory she had, everything that she might do is in this robot. Now, this particular episode kind of partially reminded me of the Britney Spears situation.
The reason I'm here is to introduce to you Ashley too.
We are friends.
It's really important to be who you want to be.
Doesn't understand how fragile all this is.
You think I should up the dose?
Knock 'em dead.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself. Get the cable out of my ass! Holy shit! Pull it out! Oh, God, that's a relief.
We are friends.
Where you had
that's a good one.
Somebody running your life, making money off of you. Because, dude, if you look at Britney Spears, man, she's drugged the fuck up. Even though she's out of the conservatorship or whatever the fuck that was, there's still somebody controlling her the way they were controlling her before. But in this one, you see the aunt, and this is her aunt.
She's a scumbag.
Drugs her up, puts her in a coma to use her consciousness. Now, mind you, with the robots, I think they I forget what was on with the robots, but everybody going to put the robots away.
Yeah,
And
they
she
said there
was
was
kind of
something like a malfunction on some of them.
yeah.
But she had hers still.
But that one girl who was getting bullied, and she put her whole life into this robot. She had that robot still, and she kept it. And they go in. They have Miley Cyrus in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
They're drugging her up.
They were going to kill her.
Still tapping into her consciousness to write music, to continue what she was doing, to make money.
Remember, the aunt was going to kill her because remember they had premiered that hologram thing to where they would continuously make money off her. Like, we don't need her no more. That, bro,
and thank God for
scumbag. Oh,
her aunt was beyond a scumbag. And then thank God she had a fan who cared enough.
Yeah.
I forget what drove him to do it, but then you had the older sister looking out for the younger sister, listening to the robot. They break her in. Now, that was another episode.
Yeah.
But again, it goes into that kind of technology. And what scumbags would do if they were in a position to do what that auntie did. Which is why it kind of reminded me of the Britney Spears thing. But that was another great episode.
She had,
we should check it.
Remember, like, the robot that they had was telling them, like, because remember the news came on and it was talking about her being in a coma. And she's like, that's bullshit. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. And, like, the robot told them where to go and everything. And remember the robot pulled the plug? And she's like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like this. But she wasn't dead, but you know what I mean? Like, bro, that was a very good episode. Miley did her thing on there. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Miley most certainly did her thing. Now, we're moving on to the last season of Black Mirror. We'll go to the first episode, which is Joan is Awful.
Horrifying.
That, what is it, Blackberry or what's supposedly, it looked like Netflix. I forget what their version was on that particular episode, but can you imagine that? And dude, smart TVs have cameras. A lot of smart TVs have cameras on. So a lot of the shit that they explain in this episode could motherfucking
there's
happen.
cameras everywhere now.
And when you sign up for these fucking streaming services, most people don't read the
Nobody
terms
does.
and conditions of that shit. They just sign up and here it is. You could have already agreed to them, hey, recording you, taking your likeness, and then boom. That episode right there, man, here's the part that made me laugh in that episode was when she was like, oh, okay, so this is how it's going to be, huh? She goes into the fucking church after eating all that shit and takes a laxative. And she's looking people dead in the face while Doo-Doo is just streaming all her ass.
Not be wed. Let him speak now.
Merry Christmas, one and all!
But that,
and then Selma Hayek has to do that on her version of the show. Like, but
there's something to that because like the writers and the actor strike that's currently happening. There's something to that where they were trying to get actors and writers and stuff to like sign their likeness over to these studios so they could use AI and like continuously use them.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying, man. Like Black Mirror is like The Simpsons on
I'm
that.
telling you.
They calling stuff as it's happening. Like,
and dude, I feel bad if that happens.
Yeah.
That's one good. Now, second episode, Loch Henry. We won't delve too deep into that one, but hey, that one was another episode that wasn't too tech related. If you want to consider a VCR camera, tech, whatever. But unlike the other episodes where it's like AI type of tech, this wasn't that type of an episode.
It was set in
was just
the 90s, right? I think that one was set in the 80s or the 90s.
Yeah. Well, pretty early.
Yeah.
And like, to find out your mother and father were doing those types of things.
Yeah.
Is
say this.
That was another one where the ending was, satisfying.
Yeah.
Because, spoiler alert. Mom's like, well, shit, I'm outed now. And just to see how, and she gave hints too. She was like, could you imagine if your father had this? type of equipment. And she's looking in awe at their equipment. She's like, oh, and you can see her reminiscing as she's saying that about what the fuck they did to those people.
I felt bad for Shorty though.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that the fear took over her to where she, like, I gotta get away from her. Like, I don't think that lady would have tried to, like the moms, I don't think she would have tried anything with her. But that fear of what you just watched her do.
Once the mom found that on the laptop, she knew. Like, she wasn't, again, she wasn't thinking logically or rationally. She just wanted to get the fuck out of Dodge. Which was the right call.
Yeah.
She just did it incorrectly.
Yes.
Because at a certain point, the mom wasn't going to look for you. So you could have laid low, waited for your man to get back. But, again, it's a sad thing, but it almost plays out like Hollywood kind of plays out. To be successful, you have to lose somebody in your life, and that's the sacrifice you have to make to be successful. Because once that documentary came out, you saw how successful he was. And even though he was successful, he was still alone at the end.
Hell yeah. Bro, imagine that. You find out what your family is, and you lose your girl in the process. You lose your girl, your whole family, and your family's history looks terrible. Like,
and every time you see this story that you won awards over, you have to remember that.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Now, moving on. You and I like this episode as well, Marcus. Beyond the Sea. And you know that song that Josh Hartnett is playing? Josh is playing in French? That's Beyond the Sea in French.
Okay. That's what I was figuring.
So Beyond the Sea, this is where 2 live astronauts are on a spaceship in space. But they have mechanical bodies, aka clones, if you will, of themselves, sleeves, if you will, if you've ever seen Altered Carbon on Earth.
And that one is set in the 60s, I think, during like space revolution, like with the Cold War and everything that was looming, and like trying to get to space before Russia and all that. So in an alternate 60s, I guess.
And in this episode, one of the astronauts loses his Earth's family and his sleeve immediately. So the other astronaut that he's paired up with, now in this ship, it's a 2-man ship. The ship needs 2 men to run it. They usually give these guys a break to go into their sleeves to see their lives, blah, blah, blah. Funny thing is that these sleeves don't have penises. And again, they're not real. And the other pilot extends his partner the courtesy in using his sleeve to take a break. Breathe fresh air. So, my man is actually getting to go back to painting, breathing real air, seeing beauty. Now he gets caught up with my man's wife. Starts drawing my man's wife in the ship. He starts, and this is another wife that feels neglected.
Yeah.
Again, the husband isn't there, but is there with the sleeves. And when he is there, he's not. So she forms a bit of a bond. They get super close. Things are kind of getting out. He's painting their house. And I guess his excuse is to go back. And once he's finished the painting, then, there's no excuse for him to go back. But he kind of went too far and started touching the wife. The wife actually let him touch. And she realizes it's wrong. Goes back in the ship now. The real husband finds pictures of his wife being drawn by Homeboy. And he basically knows that Homeboy draws from memory. So, as a husband, you find these drawings, you're automatically going to think like, my wife is posing for this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So my man makes an excuse. He's like, oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, blah, blah, blah. When he confronts his wife says, no, she's never posed for him, which is true because she doesn't. But you did make out with him. You did touch you. You did lead him on in a way. Even though you let them know you didn't want that to happen, you still let them on in a way. Now, at this point, my man doesn't want to allow him to use his sleeve anymore.
Yeah.
You've crossed the line, you've disrespected. So as my man is with his wife, the dude sends an emergency alert from the ship. So my man has to come back to the ship. My man has to go outside of the ship to fix the so-called repair. So Josh takes the opportunity to take his card, because you need the card to get into the sleeve. You know, watch the episode, you'll understand what I'm saying. He goes into my man's sleeve, murders his wife, and so comes back with enough time. You know, my man goes, you know, he's trying to fix these. He realizes nothing needs to be fixed. He's trying to get back in. There's a bit of a delay with my man letting him in. He lets him in. And when he asks for his card, the card should have been in the tray. You know, they empty out their stuff before they go do those space runs, if you will. The card wasn't in the tray, so he asked for his card back. My man pulls the card out of his pocket to give it to him. And my man's like, what did you do? He immediately goes into his sleeve, and when he gets into his sleeve is covered in fucking blood.
My
tag. What did you do?
Now, as a husband, you go back to the ship. You see how it is. Do you immediately murder him? Or do you just say, fuck it, we're here to do a job because it's a two-man ship and there's really nothing I can do?
I do want to add to, like, the fact that they didn't show the bodies. They just showed all the blood. That made that, like, really, really horrifying. Because they didn't
And
show
the blood was everywhere.
Spread out all over the walls. Puddles,
everywhere.
Pools of it. Honestly, because what they say is a two-man ship, and they're like on a 2-year exploration or something, right? So they're like a couple years away from coming home. I would just kill him.
Yeah.
Because I have nothing to come home to now.
Exactly.
You lost your family. You took mine from me. I don't have anything. And bro, you come home, you're guilty of murdering your family because your sleeve did that. So they're going to say, you did that.
Exactly.
So you have nothing to come home to. Or if you do come home, you're coming home to prison. Screw it. We're just going to die out here together.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think at that point, emotion is going to take over, and you're going to be on autopilot. You're gonna get rage, and you're just going to do the thing. You might not even know that you're doing it. You know, you might just choke the life right out of him, and then wake up and be like, "Oh shit!"
For
what
me,
happened?
For me personally, I know I would know that I'm doing it, because when I come back to the ship, and you know the way he just kicked out that chair on nonchalantly, like, take a seat, homie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to walk up as if I'm going to take that seat, and then my hands are immediately going to be wrapped around his neck, and I'm going to watch his punk ass turn every fucking color in the rainbow until he passes away. And when he does pass away, I'm going to take that chair he kicked out for me to sit on and smash his dead fucking face until I'm tired.
Don't get me wrong.
Because I'm telling you,
I feel for Hartnett. I feel
I
for
do,
Josh.
man. That was terrible.
What he experienced and like what his family, like, he didn't deserve that. You know what I mean? By those fucking, what were they, like, protest hippies?
Culkin did a good job playing that hippie too, man.
It was almost like the Manson family kind of, that Manson family vibe. You know what I mean? They were against, like, space exploration, all that bullshit. But because that happened to you, you don't have the right to do that to your partner. And because you overstepped he didn't have to give you his sleep to even use.
Yep.
Like, your ass could have just been here. But that's how you repay this man? Nah. Both gone. Like, because I can't fly the ship by myself, so I'm going to die out here too. But you're definitely going to. Like, right now.
Absolutely.
Because at that point, it's up. Like, bro, like, what's that? You have nothing to go home to.
None.
Except prison. Like, you're coming home to go to prison. You're a fucking American hero who's going to be locked up because you murdered your damn family.
And that was a hard episode, man. That was a hard watch, dude.
Oh, yeah. That took something out of me, bro. Like, that one, like, most Black Mirror episodes, like, I could just, like, compartmentalize them for what they are. That one kind of, like, hit me in a soft spot. Like, that was tough, bro.
There are 2 more episodes following that one. That one was a very, very tough watch.
Yeah.
We won't go too deep. The Mazey Day episode. I did want to chat about that a little bit. We won't discuss the Demon 79 one, even though I enjoyed that episode.
Yeah, that one was good. That was
the Mazey
funny.
Day one.
The Demon 79 comedic.
Yeah, the Demon 79 one was hilarious. And that's another episode that wasn't really tech related. That was more on the, the Mazey Day one also isn't tech related, but I did want to add, going into this episode, in the beginning, you see her getting fucked up. She gets in the car, she hits somebody and kills her. Fast forward, they show you the full moon and then they show you the room wrecked. So the assumption is she turned, wrecked the room, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I was trying to figure out is this, because I know you guys don't watch Vampire Diaries. I have. In Vampire Diaries, the way a werewolf triggers their curse is by killing someone, whether it's accidental or on purpose.
He was drunk and attacked me. It was self-defense.
Then it triggered the curse.
So even though they have the werewolf gene within them, they don't turn into werewolves until they kill somebody. AKA triggering their curse. So I'm wondering if they were going along that aspect, because they don't really show you her turning before. She was just some famous chick.
Really?
This happens, and now she's turning. All of a sudden, that one dude from Hollywood is able to help her and knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Another thing, you had the paparazzi, so to speak. Trying to find out who she was. Like, that whole episode, again, we won't go anywhere because this episodes were long enough. But I'm trying to figure out, again, if she triggered the curse by killing that one dude. And do you like how it ended with Homegirl? Because, she wanted to die. She didn't want to do this anymore. She wanted to die.
Yeah.
Do you agree with Homegirl handing her the gun and standing there above her body with the camera and taking that last picture?
I think that was set. That's another one that was like a period piece. I think that was set in like the 2000s, late 90s. Because they were talking about Tom Cruise's daughter.
In Syria.
Yeah, like when she was born. I didn't love that part of it, but I understood why they did it that way, because she is paparazzi and this would be like a lasting image. As far as her turning, I thought, and maybe I need to rewatch it, I thought that when she hit dude, but she thought it was a dude, but it wasn't like the werewolf. I thought that it like bit her or scratched her or something. But I'm not sure. I need to watch it again. I don't know if that's like made her turn, or it could be like you said, killing somebody like triggered that inside of her already. Because before that, she was just like a famous actress that was just doing her thing. And the doctor that's a great point, because he knew exactly what to do.
Cleared out the rehab center, chained her up.
So this is
we just need to get you.
Yeah, this is something that he's dealt with before, clearly.
Because Black Mirror is actually generally pretty good about like answering everything before the episode. This was kind of one of those ones like, I don't know.
Yeah. That's true.
Again, folks,
I want to watch it.
I'm gonna definitely rewatch it. Like, folks, this is Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.5.
Yeah.
And that's for all 6 seasons. I definitely, recommend it.
For sure. Definitely.
So, that's all the time we have, folks. If you guys are looking for any artwork, please hit my nephew Nate up. His information is in our link in bio.
Yes, sir. I'll be sure to check out NISH, the producer of the intro, outro track called Trap Sex. You can find his music on SoundCloud and YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks again for joining us, folks. See you soon. This is Gabe, Marcus, and Al. Peace.
Later.